Hey, Angel Leaders. I am Jess Markowitz, of course. Hopefully you know that, but maybe you don't. Maybe you are a new leader and just added to this page and maybe you haven't met me yet. So welcome as to our leadership page. If you're on this group page, it means that you have sponsored somebody and promoted to lead or above. So congratulations. What I wanted to talk about today is the importance of onboarding with your new consultants, and as well as what we could be doing this time of the month, which is about halfway through. But let's first off start with what we could be doing with our team members. There's actually a form in the training center that says new sponsor checklist. And if you follow this, you are doing the actions that is helping your team members get going successfully. Sensational start. That's what we call it, a sensational start. They're literally getting off to a sensational start. So I would love all of you, because you're all sponsors, to make sure you have this handy dandy sheet. There are other ones floating around that I even use. Some of them I will be making sure that I'm almost positive I've posted them before, but I'll make sure that they're in this page, because if you don't have some type of a checklist, it's very likely you'll forget to do something important with your new consultant. So welcome your new team member. So sometimes people will join and you don't even know them yet, and which is a great thing, right? Just, oh my gosh, I woke up this morning and I have a new team member. What is that about? That is a great thing to happen, and we want that to happen, right? You may have marketed in the right way on Facebook or social media, or you have some clients that just which are considered your fans. They love you, they think you're amazing at what you do, and they refer you to somebody that wants to get started in the business. So when we get new team members, when we have no relationship connected, it is a little bit harder to start that relationship. Definitely, hands down, because you don't know anything about them. You don't even know why they joined. But here's the thing, even people that you sponsor that you've had a relationship with, some consultants still have no idea why they actually joined. So that's why it's so important to find out what the reason is that they joined. So when they say they want XYZ as a goal for their business, we can actually, as their upline, their support system, I hate to say this, but almost call them out on, well, when we first spoke, you said you wanted to do XYZ, and XYZ hasn't happened. So you're reminding them what they told you. And that's really what we are, is just that type of support system. And if they want the accountability, that's why you need to have that initial conversation within 24 hours of them joining, because they may very well just be a kidnapper, or very much of a hobbyist that just, it's not even a hobby to them. It's just, I would call them a smart shopper, that they don't want to know you. They don't want your support. They just, all they need to know is how they put in an order. And the cool thing is nowadays, back in my day, in my beginning of my days, even a smart shopper needed to connect with you in some way so you can help them learn how to place orders and just do the basics, get hostess rewards, etc. But now Scentsy has an amazing checklist for them to do. So even if you are a very hands-off sponsor, which none of you are, right? They can get through the basics of getting on their workstation, setting up a party, placing an order with their host rewards, and more. They know about their 500. They know, the shooting star. They know about the sensational start, because the checklist does that. They literally set your consultant up for the basics. So if they end up being a smart shopper or just a kidnapper, which kidnappers don't do anything, right? You're not wasting your time talking about all the things that they're not interested in, okay? But here's the thing as well. Jess is gonna say it again. You've heard me say it a million times. There's two sides to everything. Okay, yes, let me lower your hand. Okay, try to unmute yourself, Shauna. I don't, oh, there we go.
I, I did. Um, I, I, I'm still in the process of learning all the flip the party thing. And this might be answered if I would just continue my training on it. But I was wondering, when they get the hostess reward kit, it doesn't come does it come with like all the stuff that like the full kit does, like to get them started as far as like the training and all that? It doesn't, right?
Oh,
It's
the
just
training, yes. They have all the training, but they don't get the products, the same products. But yes,
okay.
absolutely. Even when we have
And all that stuff, that
sorry, say that one more time.
I said, okay, but they still get like the consultant guide and everything that lets them know like what to do and
Okay,
like
very good question. The hostess kit, yes, they'll get a consultant guide, but whenever we do promotions for like $15, you know, the real, it's literally like a mini warmer in a bar and that's it, and a half of a tester's kit, they don't. However, they have the PDF in their resources and the training that they can print off, and that's when you encourage that. So that's a great question. I'm glad you brought that up. That actually is something that I would love for you guys to know, that is a helpful tool. Is that all you wanted to ask me?
yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute you just for background purposes. So whenever you get a new team member, if they're in your town, you know, it's a lot easier. We want to branch out. We want to expand, because when you expand out of your circle, your radius, that's when your business really starts to grow. But one tool that I do, which I would suggest if you can, is have like a lender consultant guide available. So when you get somebody started, they can you can lend them your tester set, your basically like a little small kit that they can get their business going. Because a lot of new consultants don't do anything until they get their kit. They're like, oh, I'll just wait till I get my kit. And that's 3, 4, sometimes 5 days into their 15 days. So we want to, if we have a local new consultant, give them everything they need to just start going. That's why, I mean, the best practice is for them to do a party before they join. That's why we have this hostess kit exclusive. Excuse me. I should have not started to eat my blueberry shake right now. I probably have it all in my teeth. To lend them all the tools they need so they don't have to wait. And so one of the things that I would lend a consultant is the startup guide, so they can start reading and learning about the shooting star, about everything, because we don't know what kind of learner they are. They may need to read it. They may need to have it in their hand. Just like our clients want that catalog in their hands, sometimes the digital one isn't what they really want. We have to actually ask those questions. Like, you know, are you a hands-on, I need to touch it, I need to read it, whatever, or, you know, are you audio? Because we have all those things. It's kind of incorporated in the first things first checklist, right? There's videos for them to watch. There's things for them to read. And then again, if that touching part of it, so for me, for instance, I need to hear it and read it at the same time to really register. So like when I read a book, I'm literally reading it as well as I buy both, because that's the way I learn. I'm dyslexic, so I have to have like double the information coming in for me to kind of catch up, my brain to catch up. But anyway, so lending out a consultant guide is a good best practice, sorry. And to kind of like not give them a reason to not start from the get-go. So again, if you can get somebody to host a party first before they even start, so give them a basket party, give them an online link. Right now, we can do that because we can transfer all the online orders over. In normal days, we can't do that. So I would just give them the basket party and tell them to start collecting orders. And then as soon as they get to 500, we will get them started, and then they can open their link so they can start branching out and marketing to their friends and family. So that's why it's so important to connect with your new team member within 24 hours. Now, how are we going to do that? How can we make sure that happens? We can make sure that happens by logging your daily numbers. So if you're not logging your daily numbers every day, absolutely start doing that, because you need to know if you had 20 people on your team yesterday and there's 21 and you didn't sponsor them, you need to know I have a new team member, because you are all the future directors of your teams. So you have to have that mindset that I am one day soon going to be the director of that team. So they are, these people, even though I didn't sponsor them, they're my team members. And so you want to make sure that you're welcoming everybody in your team, not just the person you sponsor, because it won't be a very good transition in your business when you become their director and they don't even know who you are. Because right now, if you don't have that director title and you're not their immediate sponsor, there's nowhere that your name is listed. Okay. So they have no idea who you are and why they should come to you if they need some assistance, if their sponsor isn't around, their director can't answer the phone or something. You want them to know that they have more resources and support than just their sponsor and their director. And if you have the mindset that this is my future team as director, then you're going to be doing the actions like a director now. So when that happens, it's an easy transition. Everybody's like, oh yeah, Shauna, she's my director. Yeah, she's been doing this all along. Susan, she's been, I always go to Susan. Of course she's my director. There's no like, wait a minute, who the heck are you? So that's why you want to try to connect with your even downline within 24 hours. Now, again, two sides to everything. Does it always happen? No, there's people in my downline that I have never reached out to directly, except for in an email, because the business is so big. But I try to train my team members to be reaching out to at least the sponsor is connecting, right? So I have two different forms of the way they get touched by me as their upline. Is they get everybody gets an email, but who knows if they get it because it might go to spam. And then I do a welcome phone call. But for me, if I'm just their superstar director, I'm not their director, I'm not their sponsor, I do a voicemail. It's from slybroadcast.com. And what it does is you could set up a blast voicemail and schedule the time that it goes out. And for me, it's so I know who wants to actually know me. So it leaves them a voicemail like they didn't get the phone call, but it has my caller ID, my number, and I tell them it's who I am. Welcome to the Scentsy family. I'm here for you as well. You have whatever, great sponsor, great director, but you also have me. And the people that want to know me call me back. Like I got 5 return phone calls the other day when I did a blast. I probably sent out maybe 20, maybe not that many, but I got 5 people call me back. So how is that working smarter, not harder? It's because if I'm taking time to call 20 people that don't want anything to do with me, that's wasting my time, right? So I'm calling people to see who wants to actually connect. And so the idea is if at least the sponsor is connecting within 24 hours. Now, here's the thing, guys. You all have your own team members. The things that I'm teaching you, you have to teach to your team. That's the idea, is that you get taught and then you teach the same thing. And so everybody's getting the same information. Does that make sense? Because your team may not be on this call. Like, it's awesome that you two are a team right now that are on live. Like, so Susan knows the information Shauna's getting. So she doesn't have to waste her time talking about the things that I talked about, right? Because she's on the same call. But you're not always going to have leaders in the same situation. Like, you're going to have team members that aren't on our leadership page, so they don't get this training. So you want to make sure that you are passing on to your front line, like Shauna, for instance, you want to pass on to your front line how important it is to touch base and connect with their new team member within 24 hours. So the next thing is share your excitement for them. It's contagious if they see your excitement for just them starting their journey. And this is what I was just talking to another leader the other day, that it is so important, you guys. I hear this on training calls so many times and I literally cringe, like, because to build an organization of people that are going to be retainable, and what I mean by that people are going to stick around, is they have to feel a part of something, but they have to feel that it's something that is for them. So I hear the words join my team all the time. They talk about, I asked you to join my team. So what's wrong with that? With that, somebody unmute themselves. What's wrong with that phrase? Join my team.
I'll go.
Hi, Susan.
I'm here. I'm here. You just can't see me because I was eating a sandwich.
Okay.
I don't feel like join my team. I like to use the phrase. I used to say join my team, but now I like to use the phrase join the Scentsy family, because to me, our team is just a portion of the Scentsy family. So I don't want people just to join my team. I want them to know that it's bigger and better than just my team.
Okay, that's awesome. Shauna, do you have an answer too?
That was better. I was just gonna say, join. The word "my" is the wrong thing, because they yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Tell me why. Why is my not a good word?
Because then it's only it's portraying that it's only benefiting you. Oh, join my team so I can make more money. You know, not join the team so you can see how great it is and so that you can benefit yourself. You know?
Absolutely. You both nailed it on the head. It can't be about you, because that is exactly what these new consultants are thinking, that you're just trying to grow a team so you can make more money. So we have to delete that word out. It's not about you, it's about them. Because here's the thing, we also don't want them to think that just because they join, you're even making any money, because that does not mean that. We don't get paid for them to join, and we don't get paid until they do anything. And it's funny, when you put that in their brain from the get-go, you know how they say people remember like the first couple words you say to them, they don't remember the rest. So if the first thing that you introduce to them in the business is about me, they think that you're the only one benefiting, and that you're actually benefiting, because here's the reality is that 10 people can join today on your team, but doesn't mean they're going to do anything. They're going to they could be all 10 kidnappers. So you don't benefit from that, and you don't want them to think that it's about you, period. And it takes a while for one person, for the sponsor to actually make a significant amount. We end up putting more time into them, as far as, because our time is the most valuable thing we have, right? We're putting more time and value into them than we're going to get back for a long time. But that's why this business is about building relationships. It's a family business. We're building relationships as a family, and we're showing them that we believe in them and that they're worth the time, right? Even if they end up doing nothing, because you just don't know who that one person's going to be that actually does something, right? They may be a slow starter, but they end up, kicking butt later on. Or I'm sure you guys have had this before too. You get somebody that right out the gate just kicks butt and then ends up doing nothing, the last maybe 3 months later, and you never hear from them. So they have to understand that from the get-go. And then also, here's another thing. It relieves the pressure and the like uncomfortableness for them to start sponsoring. Because that's the thing, is they fear, people don't sponsor from the out the gate when they first join, because they fear people thinking that it's about them. And so they go like, well, I don't want them to think that, oh, I want to join a team, because they're already thinking they're bugging them, they're pushing them, they're whatever. And so if they're literally introduced to the business opportunity with a me concept, that's what they fear for their friends. So when we transition that mindset and say, I can't, start your journey with Scentsy, right? This is about you. Susan said, join the Scentsy family, because it's not just, you're not the only one. She nailed it, that, I'm Susan's sponsor, but she's got tons of other people, sideline, upline, downline, people that aren't even a part of the team, that support her and she's learned from, so that's the thing, is you don't have to be the only resource, right? You don't want to be the only resource, because you're only one person. It is absolutely insane. I have 80 frontline. Do you think I can have one-on-one conversations with 80 frontline every single month? No. So I have to open that up to other resources and give them other people's trainings and encourage them to reach out to sideline, frontline, everything. And then when they need me, that we could talk, we can have that isolated time, right? when they reach out to me saying, okay, this is what I need to talk about, I'm all there for them. But I'm not going to be pounding down 80 people's doors every month trying to get a relationship built, right? They need to show me that they want that relationship. Okay, how are we on time? Okay, so people kind of go back and forth with this. I've even myself, other directors in our team have done this, is gone back and forth about giving welcome packets. Now, welcome packets, I really, really strongly suggest that you think about what helped you when you first started. If your sponsor gave you anything at all, did it help? Was that a tool that was helpful for you to do anything? If they gave you nothing, where are you today? So, do you think that you would have done a little bit better if you had some type of a packet? Think about that and make that a learning situation, saying, okay, I wish I got a packet with blah, 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 and create it for you. So you could tell them, these are things that I wish that I was handed, when I first started. Because you may be that person that needs that touch, feel, I want this, I want to see it, I want to read it. But your sponsor may not be that person, so they don't create those things. So there's no real wrong or right answer when it comes to those type of things. You have to do what you feel that's going to make you feel like you're doing your part as a sponsor. So if you giving them something is going to make you feel good and validate, or you feel that it's going to be easier for you to actually support them, then go ahead and make a welcome packet. Okay. I've gone in 9.5 years now. I've given welcome packets and I haven't given welcome packets. So for instance, again, since Susan's on, she's my guinea pig, or my person I pick on right now because she's my frontline. I don't even remember if I gave her a packet because she joined so long ago. Yeah, I didn't. So there were times that I didn't do packets. And then there were times that I did. And then now I don't. I sponsored 4 people last month. I didn't give them packets. And the reason why is because there's so much information that is right there in front of them that I don't want to overwhelm them. Okay. I had director Michelle Brooks. When she joined, I gave her a packet and she said it overwhelmed her and made her think, almost quit. So my intentions were good. I was like, ooh, I wanted this. I wish I had games to play on my first my first launch party, what it means to tax stuff. She said that just literally flipped her out. So it was a lesson learned. So I stopped doing those packets because I was like, whoa, I don't want somebody to be freaked out. So I realized what was in the packet was in the emails that I send. So why am I going to double and make more ink on my end for my business, more time, more paper, more stress? So I realized that was just it stressed me out having to make up packets. So that was the best thing since sliced bread when she told me that she was so overwhelmed. However, Nina Mancuri, who's a director now, said that was great information and that she wished, and she's so glad she had it. And she actually just told me that she wants to go over the packet with me and see what we can kind of reestablish a welcome packet, but that may not be so much. Because I told her how Michelle felt. And she's like, well, I loved it all. I was so grateful for all of it. She's like, but I don't want people to be overwhelmed either. So maybe we can put our heads together and come up with some type of a packet that will be, not so overwhelming for people that would be overwhelmed. She's like, because I wasn't overwhelmed. I loved it. She's like, but then here's the thing. Michelle also grew her business in a different way, right? Yeah. Quick list, absolutely. That's what we want to try to layer information because we don't know what your new team member is. If they're a reader, if they're hands-on, if they're a voice person, they need to hear it. Something small and just to the point of a packet, welcome to, maybe a little welcome letter and print it out. But here's the thing. You also have to think, if you're doing that for one person, you have to do it for everybody. And what if you sponsor somebody in another state? So you have to have them ready to go. So if somebody joins today, you can put it in the mail tomorrow, right? Because then it defeats the purpose, right? So, oh, hi, John. How funny. Why can't I
Is
hear?
my husband showing his face?
What happened?
I said, is that my husband showing his face? You said, hi, John.
Yes. Yeah, I just saw him.
He's there with Shauna.
That's so funny. Okay, guys. So I have another team call starting. It's not a team call. Sorry, it's another training call for me. In like 2 minutes. So I'm gonna get to the next thing. We're gonna kind of go through this in the next couple weeks. Like every Monday, we're gonna be breaking this down. So the next thing is making sure that you invite them to your team's meeting and your team social. So if you do a team meeting, or if you do like a voicemail, I mean a Zoom or whatever, making sure that they're all aware of those things. Yes, Susan.
When are you, Nina told me you were going to do in-home starting last week, but I didn't hear anything. When are you starting in-home meetings again?
So I was sick in bed for 6 days. So the day that I was going to do it, I was in bed. I actually sent I posted on the Vegas Angels page that I'm going to reevaluate it again in January, because it's just been, there's too, I mean, I just actually had somebody text me telling me that their families have COVID and they're on our team. So it's just too risky right now. I don't want to be the person that exposes you to somebody that might, you know what I mean? So we're going to just not do that. Like from now on, I'm going to do, if you want one-on-ones with me, like you and I are probably going to meet on Friday. And so that's just going to be the safest way, is just like kind of one-on-one type of things.
Okay.
Cause yeah, I can't afford to be sued that they came to a team meeting and they got COVID or something, you know? So I was going to do like a park or something, but still, I just don't want to be the reason why they went to something that I put on for them to get infected.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
Okay. So your Facebook pages, make sure that, so you're all the leader of your own team. So I know Susan has a group page. So Shauna, you would be, if you don't have your own group page yet, you would make sure that your people are, and it's fine for you not to. I mean, you decide when you're ready for it. You don't want to overwhelm them with like 10 different Facebook pages anyways. So right now, having you and Shauna and Susan having a collaborated group page is absolutely fine. You just want something that they can kind of know who their immediate team is, and upline and things like that. So if you can teach your front line to invite them to Susan's page, and then they would, you know, invite their front line, then nobody's being missed, right? I literally just got an email from somebody on one of my front lines teams who I don't really have a lot of communication with, not from lack of trying, but one of her downline, three of her downline, well, it's one person emailed me, but because of 3 people asking me why they've never heard of me, from me. And I was like, I don't know, because you get actually emailed and every single week for me, because I have a team call every Monday night. And we figured out that my emails went to spam, so they never knew that they got my emails, and they were never put on my group pages. So they had no resources available to them except for my front line's small little page, which is maybe like 10 people. And they were like, I want more, I need more. And so I was able to add them to the group pages, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what we were hoping we, you know, could have. So, but you could see how it's not like, I can't be, I just can't monitor every single people that join. So I need everybody to be doing their part, right? Because people are going to slip through the cracks, and it's sad. Discovering their why is so important. You guys know that. You as team leaders, you want to know what their why is. Their sponsors may not care what their why is. They don't want to do the things that they need to do as a leader. And so that's why it's important for you to reach out to your downline as well and find out what their why is. And then review the first things first checklist with them, just so they understand. One thing that I found out that a lot of people aren't getting their completion it doesn't say complete because they don't know to click the bubble to make it turn green. So that's something you can say. How are you doing with your first things first checklist? You know, that's one of the requirements to get sensational start level 1, 2, and 3. So they know that, and they might, like I found that out when I did a touch base with somebody, and they're like, oh, I've been trying to complete this, but I did everything, but it doesn't say completed. And it's just because they didn't get it clicked green. Okay. And then the last for this section for today, it's talk about the shooting star and sensational start and why that's important to them. Okay. If you're not even aware why it's important to them, it's because it's halfway to certified, meaning it's halfway to becoming promoted in their first month. And it's also it's basically building confidence that they can actually achieve goals right out the gate. Because most people join and think they can't even get a $200 order, but when they can do a $500 order in 15 days, then it shows them that they can not only do it, but they can also build a team and get their 500 in every month, so they can get paid off their downline. Yes, Susan.
Yeah. So my question is, do they have to, this is something that I wasn't sure of because somebody mentioned it to me. Do they have to click that bubble on the first things first when they finish everything?
Yes, because it won't say completed. It has to be a green bubble, and all of them have to be green for it to be complete.
Okay,
that's why. Okay, that makes sense.
It has to be completed for them to get the sensational start, or does it matter if it's completed or not?
No, that's part of the qualification, is completing their first checklist. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Well, ladies, thank you so much for popping on today. I'm late to my other meeting, so I'm just, so you know, I would love if you guys print out the first things first checklist. Not first things first, I'm sorry, the new sponsor checklist. So when we go over it on next Monday, you guys kind of already know, and then maybe it'll build some questions that you want to talk about regarding this. And then this is how you can, you know, we talked about the first step, the first meeting with them. This is something you might say, I've never done this with this person on my team. You know, let me reach out and say, hey, let's set up some time, because there's some questions I would like to ask you and make sure that you are up to speed on. All right. Well, you all have a sensational day. Love you guys. And we'll see you next week. We'll hopefully see you tonight. There's a team call tonight, but if I don't, I will see you on Monday next week. Bye, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.